Story time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sylvie's Storytime phase. It's 7 p.m, Easter Monday. Blatantly not 7 p.m, potentially 10 a.m. I've washed my hair, haven't styled it, and I've got some good books to get into, so let's get it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Come take a seat. If you've been here for a while, thank you for rocking with me because I've been inconsistent. Let's just a spade. I've been inconsistent, so I'm sorry. So let me just go through some of the books that I've received. About 2 of them I've read and I can vouch for, like, G's up, this book is a good book. So let go. Love in Winter Wonderland, and that is by Abiola Bello. This is a Christmas book. I really love the book. Just black teens, love, hate. You know when you're beefing someone and then that beef turns into low-key, like down the line, I kind of fancy you and you fly, and then family issues. The family, so the main character is a female and her love interest, well, they beefing first, but eventually love interest. His family own a bookstore and they're trying to keep hold of it, trying to keep it in the family, you know, legacy. And yeah, the son tries to keep it going, and there's a bag of hiccups in between. But it's just a really nice romantic book. I read this book very specifically because I'd been reading a lot of hardcore books and I was like, and I do like hardcore, but sometimes you can get really down and deflated by reading these books that you need something to jazz it up. And this book did this for me, very much so. So I think it's cute. So I definitely recommend it. Fully seasoned, I'm gonna say, fully seasoned. It was the real deal. Friendship Never Ends by Alexandra Sheppard. I have not read this book. It's come in the post. Their summer apart will change everything, but friendship never ends. Sunita, Gifty, Dawn and May, they're about to have a summer they'll never forget, but does growing up have to mean growing apart? Okay. It's giving me light-hearted, funny vibes. I'm gonna read this eventually. What else? When does it officially come out? Because that's another thing. So I receive books in advance at times. So this book came out November 2022, so you can definitely get that book. I was actually telling people on my Instagram that I thought that it was a Christmas book in terms of buy it as a gift. This book comes out the 4th of May. Yo, what month? We're in April. Yeah, 4th of May. I'm gonna try and read this before then and let you know what I think of it. This book, okay. Let me tell you what the book is first and then I'll give you my 22 pence. Angie Thomas, and the book is called Nick Blake and the Remarkables, The Manifesta Prophecy. I got sent this book and it's really cute. I don't read middle-aged fiction. I'm thinking from the jump that it's for a teenager. Middle grade clearly is American. Let me know, is middle grade? I'm thinking like 13 to 14 years old maybe. I'm going to gift this to one of my godchildren because I think it's really important that they see these books and titles with people that look like them. And I root for Angie Thomas regardless. The Hate You Give, On the Come Up is actually one of my favourite books. So I'm not personally going to read it. I'm going to keep it 100. But I want Angie Thomas to win. And I'm actually going to look around to try to interview her sometime soon. I'm going to tell you a bit more about this a little something that I'm mixing up soon. That's coming, that's pending. So yeah. My point is, if you've got any youngsters or teenagers, I think this book will be perfect. Sara, Barnard, Where the Light Goes. Ooh, okay. Okay. This, just to be clear, this is a proof. So the title, the cover will not look like this, even though I think it's quite cute. When Lizzie Beck dies by suicide, the world loses a star, but Amy loses a sister. This is the story of what happens after. It is grief and rage and sadness, and it is love in its fiercest form for the sister Amy has lost. This book, I haven't even read it, but it's touched me already because I have a really close friend who is going through bereavement. They lost their sister. So, and I've read a book similar to this, Someday Maybe, by Angie. Yes, and that was a really moving book that made me cry. So I'm actually looking forward to reading this book. When does this book come out? 4th of May. I've got a couple of books that are coming out in May. So this is another one. An unflinching exploration of fame and media scrutiny combined with a deeply empathetic portrayal of bereavement in the wake of suicide. Yeah, these conversations are really, really needed. This book is something that I'm going to have to read when I'm feeling good. If I'm already feeling a bit funny, I can't read it. You've got to be in the right mood for these books. That's just from my personal experience. I need to be in the right mood to really receive it. If not, ain't gonna work for me. This, okay, when this cover, yeah, is lit. I don't know what the book's about, but I'm telling you now, this cover is lit. The Black Queen, Jumata Emill, would she kill for the crown? This, the frizzy fro is given. Okay, someone has said that this is Pretty Little Liars for a new generation. Come on, 10 out of 10, are you mad? It's given. And, oh, okay, the cover has, how do I explain it? The letters come off the book. The letters come off the book. Is that making sense? It's 3D. No, this is 3D already. It's 4D. It's 4D. It's bumpy. I can feel it. I'm liking this. I feel like this is another young adult fiction. Oh, it's out now. 2nd of February this came out. Ooh. Okay. Love It High wants a black queen this year. Nova Albright. Tinsley MacArthur thinks the crowd should be hers. When Nova turns up dead, all fingers point to Tinsley. Was she willing to kill for it? Nova's best friend Duchess thinks so, and she's interested in getting to the bottom of the murder, even if it means getting close to Tinsley to do it. Okay, it is YA, young adult. I'm gonna read this because it's giving me art, it's giving me crime. High school I could live without, but I'm gonna read it. I think the cover alone has really interested me. Do you ever see a title or cover and that is enough to make you read a book, or am I just the only one? Because some covers look dead. I'm thinking back as to like the old school books. Some of them, it's like, did you not have an illustrator budget? Because some of them were looking very dead. They were looking dead. Oh, okay. I think I requested this book. Did I? Pomegranate by Helen Elaine Lee. Ooh! Is this the tea? I didn't actually request this book, but I would have requested this book because mad. Maybe I did request the book. I don't even know. Ooh, mad. I'm just out. You're like, tell me. Okay. Renita Atwater is getting short. She's almost done with her 4-year sentence for opiate possession at Oak Hills Correctional Centre. With 3 years of sobriety, she is determined to stay clean and regain custody of her 2 children. My name is Renita and I'm an addict. She has said it again and again at recovery meetings, but who else is she? Who might she choose to become? As she claims the story housed with her pomegranate-like heart, she is determined to confront the weight of the past and discover what might lie beyond mere survival. This just jumped to the top of my list. It feels like just the way that I'm reading and hearing what the book's about, it feels really, really compelling. Also, I like the element of this is what she's done, or this is part of her story, but this is not all of it. And I want to know who else she is. Yeah, this jumps to the top of my list. And just to give you a bit of tea, because nosiness, Helen Elaine Lee is the director of the Women's and Gender Studies program and professor of fiction writing at MIT. It's given that she knows what she's talking about. It's gonna be it. I think it makes, maybe it's just me just being a kind of academic nerd, right? I like when people almost in their real life, they specialize in something and then they can copy, paste, but not copy and paste. They can finesse some of the things that happen in their life and do a little and then make it into something really, really juicy in fiction. And I feel like this is what Helen is going to do for me. So, yeah, I really, really want to read this. To the point where I think I just knocked off, oh, see, look, I was going to say about the book I was going to read next, but now, I don't even know. It's mad. Okay, this book, I just think it's so pretty. It's called Promise. And it's by Rachel Eliza Griffiths. Aww. Can we just, I know I bent it a bit, but I think it's really, really, really pretty. Really pretty. More than anything, Ezra and I prayed that the air would remain mild for as long as possible so that we could retain some of our summer independence, free to roam the land we knew and loved. So this book, from my understanding, is based in the 50s, 2 black sisters. Other than them, there's one other black family in the town. And my understanding is that they are finding their journey from childhood to when you start being seen as an adult and as a threat. I had some initial thoughts on this, and it was more, so there's this term, adultification. I live in the UK, London to be specific, and there have been loads of incidents that have come in the media recently. I've known about them yonks before because it's just history replaying, but let me not go too stir and political. The point is, there is this notion that young black people are often criminalised and seen as adults, so adultification, when they were just children who should be treated as children. And for whatever reason, young black kids are often seen as adults and penalised for doing childhood things because you see them as an adult. So I was intrigued when I was reading part of this because I thought, oh, okay, some of the themes that are coming out, even though the book is, oh man, really? No respect. Even though the book is fiction and based in the 50s, it really reminds me of present day UK. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I was going to read this first, but the pomegranate thing has low-key got me in a chokehold. So I think I'm going to read the pomegranate book first. You see how my mind goes? I'll be set on something and then I've got to do something else. What one am I going to read first? Oh, when does this book come out? That's a good point. It's coming out in... Sis, where's your thing? Sis. Oh, nope. The answer is, I don't know. in July. Oh wow, okay, all right. You know what? Let me go with whatever book's coming out first. What's coming out first? Is Pomegranate coming out first? Whatever book's coming out first, I've got a feeling that Pomegranate's coming out first. Pomegranate is coming out the 25th of May, so I'm going to read Pomegranate first, and then I'm going to read Promise after. Please hold me accountable. Pomegranate first, Promise after. Stay with me now. Pomegranate first, Promise after. I don't feel convinced. I'm going to be convinced. That's what I'm reading. Pomegranate first, Promise after. Yeah, so I've got a good bunch of books. I think there's a decent amount